Bust it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This here's a jam for all the fellas trying to do what those ladies tell us. A big shout down cause you're overzealous. You play hard to get females get jealous. Okay, Sporty, you're going to a party. The girls are dancing, the clad is showing body. A chick walks by, you wish you could sex her, but you're standing on the wall like you was appointed.
MC function, high class function. Food is serving your stone cold munching. Music comes on and people start to dance. Then you ate so much you nearly shit your pants. Girl stops walking, guy stops talking. Sits down next to you and starts talking. Said you gotta dance, said you like the group. Come on, you fat fuck, fucking force the boot. Fucking.
You want it, you got it. You want it, baby, you got it. You want it, you got it. No, you want it, baby, you got it.
You're on a mission and you're wishing someone could cure this lonely condition. Looking for love in all the wrong places. No fine girls, just ugly faces. Front frustration, first inclination was to become a monk and leave the situation. But every dark tunnel has a brighter hope. So don't hang yourself with that soda rope. Movies showing, so you're going. Couldn't care less about the vibe you're blowing. Leave it to start the show. Then you spot the spot and send in your row. She jumps to the pillow. She says hello. Come sit next to me, you fine fellow. You run over there without a second to lose.
What you gonna do, Pete?
Bust a move.
You want it, you got it. You want it, baby, you got it. You want it, you got it. You want it, baby.
Break it down for me, fellas.
You know, it seems there's a lot of people out there that want to be Canada's only late night talk show. But I got news for you, fellas. Your dreams are wasted. You're pissing them into the ether. We already exist. We're live from the Dutch Hall. We come from Pine Grove. We kick ass. You want to know why?
Tell me, Peter.
Best band in the world, Nocturnal Emissions. You guys are going to find out for yourself, but you have to do one thing, fellas. You know what that is, David?
Wood.
It's a goddamn theme song. Welcome everybody live from the Dutch Hall. We are Canada's only late night talk show. And we are a great program because we have, as I said before, the greatest band in Canadian late night history. The Nocturnal Emissions, everybody. This week it's a super group. Not since Asia have we seen a group of this caliber come together. We have the regular cast of the Nocturnal Emissions led by Dave the Rooster Starters. Beside him is on lead guitar with a new pedalboard. He's got a kid with a new toy. He's Steve the Reluctant German, everybody. And the balls are back. He's here hanging low between the Nocturnal Emissions legs. He's our bass player, Whiskey Wes Hagens, everybody. And on percussions tonight, he has a mic. He's just going to share it with Wes tonight. Kevin Hoover is back. And HippoZ's here. And on those sweet, sweet keys, making it sound funky, we have Studsky, Hutchinson, Partridge here, everyone. And our director tonight, behind the bar, he's my brother. He's our bus driver. He's our buddy. Paul Van Dyke is here. And me, I'm your host. Two-time. Club Award winner. That's right. Pete Van Dyke. Let's get this. I loved it. I loved it.
Nice.
That's how you open a show.
Fucking right.
Yeah, every week. We're not taking a week off anymore, ever.
Hey.
That's right. Even next week, I already know the song we're playing, and you guys are all fucking off on us, except for Dave. Dave's the new savior.
I'll be here.
Yeah. What? What?
The
The Davier. The Davier. Yeah, that's good. Dave, you might have a new title.
I like it.
You're gonna have a great week here in the Dutch Hall Charters. But number one, you've been gone for 3. How many weeks has it
I
been
think
since?
it's 3. I lost count, but
My goodness.
it's good to be back.
You know, oh, excuse me, Lori. I'm sorry about that. But, you know, charters, I think one of the things people that listen to this program don't understand is that, you know, we don't have a lot of budget for things like cameras or headphones or things like that, but we do have budget to send our cast of Live from the Dutch Hall around the world to get perspective on the world that we live in. Because if I'm going to do a program like Live from the Dutch Hall and we sit in a shed in Pine Grove and we just sit around talking and drinking and the only person I'm learning from is you know, I'm not going to learn nothing, right? We're
Not
going
for
to be
me.
just as stupid as we were when we started, right?
That's right.
So I think we can't get better as a show unless we send my correspondents all around the world.
We got to spread our wings.
We sent Steve to Guatemala.
That's right.
He reported back to us. It was very it was disturbing. What did you you did some sort of German surgery where you removed kids' legs or something?
Yeah.
Is that what you did?
That's exactly what I did.
And they would only allow you to do it in Guatemala
yeah, that's
because
right.
everyone else needed
No
med
laws.
school.
Is that because you're not licensed?
That's right.
Yeah. Just some German experiment is what he did. Anyways, that wasn't what I was really hoping for on that trip, but it was nonetheless, we got perspective.
It opened our eyes.
It opened our eyes a bit, right? We took Braden DeCooman and Ben Perrier, 2 honorary members of Nocturnal Emissions. Both of them sat in before. We sent them to Morocco and Thailand to report back to us, and they did a great job in the Chiang Mai Chubby Choker episode. If you haven't listened to
Listen
it
to
yet,
that one.
right?
It's a good one.
Yeah, and then we sent Paul, our director, we sent him to Costa Rica a while back for us to report back on what was going on there. And I felt he did a subpar job, is what I felt. And so I decided I had to go back and check for myself. I just came back myself from that. We have to talk about it.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, yeah. And then charters we sent to the Orient, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You just came back from the Orient.
The heart of the Orient.
The heart of the Orient.
Right on the ring of fire.
Now, I don't know if people know Dave Charters. I know Paul Etche barely knows him. Barely. Because every time he manages to avoid you.
We had one epic night. It was beautiful.
Oh, did we
2
ever?
years ago, August. It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Does anyone
I'll
have
never
some
forget it.
like a love song that we could play
And
with
I
us,
was like,
underneath
at
that?
the end of the night, I was like, Chambers, where's Chambers? And I was like, his name's Charters. Oh, shit. Yeah, right. And
You're not the first to make that. That's a classic error.
Classic error is Chambers is our technical lead, so people get him mixed up with our technical lead Chambers, who's been.
We look a lot alike.
Yeah, you look a lot alike. Charters, we sent you to the Orient, and you, as for those that don't know, Charters is a master of industry. He works in high, what do you call it? You work in industry, correct?
That's right.
Industry and
Manufacturing, some might say.
and not only that, but you are a big fucking wig. Is that true? And I don't
know
even
how true
think
that
that. I don't even think that's because you actually have to wear a different kind of wig, like a hat, right? That makes you a big wig.
It's a different color than most people's.
Yeah, and then it's the same thing as people that wore the wigs and make them seem more important. You wear a hat to make you seem more important, correct?
I guess, yeah.
And
You could
because
say
of that hat, you get
kind of
to
like Donald Trump's hair. It's the same kind of thing.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know he's important when you look at his hair.
Now, you are in live from the Dutch Hall business as well as business for your Master of Industry, right? You decided
I
that
was.
while you were going on our dime to the Orient to explore the entire Orient, that was your job. And you, and then you decided, oh, I'm also going to do this other stuff for my Master of Industries job, right?
I did some things, yeah.
Yeah. On our, I'm just saying, Clean Flow's not going to be happy about it.
I thought it was important when I was there that the Nocturnal Emissions play a gig in the Orient, so
Did you play?
I brought my guitar, actually, on the plane with me. And then the first night I got there, I left my guitar in my room, which was a mistake, I'll admit it.
Yeah.
But luckily, the last bar of the night we went into, called Punches,
Punches. That's a
Yeah.
good start,
yeah, tiny little place.
Welcoming.
A third of the size of this room, probably. And in the corner of this room, there happened to be a guitar sitting there. So I picked it up, and I played a few tunes.
Oh, I thought you stole it.
No, they kept the bar open. Actually, they weren't even going to let us in. I started playing the guitar, and we got 2 rounds out of them.
All right.
Okay, now when
Free
you're
entertainment.
now this is in what country in the Orient?
Japan.
Japan. Okay, so this was probably your first stop.
Yeah, that was night 1. Yeah.
Yeah, of the Orient tour.
Yeah.
Now, can you cover the Orient? How long were you there for? And
It was a whirlwind tour.
the
But
whirlwind tour of the Orient.
yeah.
Okay, so
Covered
you're
at least 4 bars.
now when you're walking around a country like when you're walking around a country like Japan, and you are look like you do, right? Now these poor little Japanese people, they must be terrified, like Godzilla's going down the street. Right?
That is true. When you first get off the plane,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of people who look like me. And I was flying alone, so I get off the plane in the airport. There's all these people, and then there's me. And a lot of heads turning, a lot of people looking at me, wondering what's going on.
You're a
with this guy.
spectacle, yeah. When they see a big block-headed pole hawk coming through they don't see that every day, Like this is not only that, like you don't keep yourself like a person does, like a regular, you look like not only like they don't see someone not only like as thick as you, but and girthy, but they also don't see like one that's let himself go as badly, like. So
It could be true.
Yeah, all those things would be very appealing to them.
And I was at the end of like a 36-hour travel day, so
Yeah.
I wasn't at my best. let's
Could
say.
you imagine? Could you imagine everybody if you're in another country, a new country, right? Or even if you're in like a country that doesn't have diversity like Canada, you're in like some remote like Scandinavian country or something like that, and all of a sudden this person looks totally different than you, comes in, right? Totally different. And like so freakishly different that it's like you can't take your eyes off him, right? Like Charters would be to these people. And then all of a sudden he picks up a guitar and starts playing it. You're like, oh my God, the monkey has talent. Like it's really
Dance, monkey, dance.
yeah, it's like that guy from Deliverance who plays the banjo or whatever. You're like, holy, you're horrible to look at, but you sure can play a banjo.
Yeah, it is.
No wonder he got the job in the movie. To get both those things is lucky. So, Charters,
Yeah.
Orient, what did you learn? Main thing you learned. Because what kind of people did you meet that weren't like Canadian?
I met some Brazilians one night. A lot of Brazilians.
Really?
Yeah, I was in Nagoya City, and there was a lot of Brazilians at this one bar we went to.
The people or the hairstyle?
I didn't get to check it out. I assumed I was doing a lot of assuming that there wasn't a lot of hair,
Right.
but I didn't actually get to witness it.
Are these males
firsthand?
or females that you met?
Both.
Oh, both.
Yeah,
And you assume they both had waxed assholes.
yeah, that's what they do there, right?
Yeah. Well, that's a fair assumption. I would assume the same thing. But it's just clarifying for
So you have that in
your
your head when you're talking to them the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah. The whole time you're
That's
like,
all you
"Oh,
can think about.
it's easier to wipe, I bet. And then stuff like that.
Which you don't even have to do in Japan because the toilets just spray your ass for you. It's great.
Oh, you must have enjoyed that.
Oh, it's the best.
Now, is it warm
That's the
water?
one thing I learned is that they got toilets figured out. Half the toilets, 50%.
What?
The other 50% of the toilets are like, I'll call them Eastern toilets, or we like to call them sliders. But it's just like it's like you take a urinal and you lay it flat in the concrete and bury it a bit, and that's your toilet. You just squat over it. There's no seat.
Yeah, yeah. Did you
Try
do
and
it again
avoid
on this
those.
trip?
No, you try and avoid those if you can.
But you have done it.
Yeah.
You said
Well,
it
I think
on
it's a
air.
skill you have to learn.
Yeah.
Like my first trip there, as soon as you get there, you got to find one of these things and take a shit in it and figure it out. Because one day you're going to need to,
Yeah, and that's not the time to
And
figure it out.
you don't want to be
have time
learning
figure
when
it
you
out.
need to use it.
No.
You gotta do it when you don't need to. Figure it out. There's a technique.
Yeah, there is a technique. You don't just squat like you think you would, like in the woods.
No.
You have to do some sort of a real, like, if you're like.
You got to keep your heels on the ground. That's the key. Heels on the ground in a full squat.
But your knees have to splay out though, right?
Yeah,
Don't
it just kind of naturally happens. Once you put your knees on the ground, it all just happens naturally.
Really?
Your knees
Or
on the ground?
your heels
No,
on the
no,
ground, not your knees.
Heels, no, nothing touches the ground but your feet.
Yeah,
you have your
just your
shoes on.
feet.
You know your pants. And
Oh, you got to have your shoes on.
Yeah, your
Oh, yeah.
your pants and underpants are like pushed right to your socks, though, right?
How do you not shit in your underpants? I'm trying to get.
Yeah,
a
that's
picture.
how you
Can
do
Show
it.
me a picture of how this works.
No, that's a great
Yeah.
question. That's a great question.
It
How do
is,
you not
and-
shit in your underpants?
Well,
yeah.
if you try it right now and you put your heels on, people at home try it. Go squat and then put your heels right on the ground. Your ass just automatically moves away from your feet. It just happens.
How do you not shit on your balls a little bit? Like, do you have to lift?
That's true too. Because like
Everything
Or
gets
are
out
they
of the
just
way.
lying in the
Everything
the
gets out of the
hole?
way. It's magical.
Do you still take
But-
your shirt off?
I'm gonna need a diagram.
Okay, no, but my question, you kind of got off. Oh, sorry, you finished your point. Finish your point.
Those are the toilets you don't want to use. The good toilets like do everything for you. It's amazing. You walk out of there and you feel like cleaner than when you got out of the shower.
Now I
It's
have
great.
the question was originally like, is it hot or cold water that sprays on your asshole?
Oh, you can adjust the temperature.
What?
Yeah, you can adjust the temperature and the pressure. You take
And
your
they have
pick.
towels?
You make it feel the way you like. They have toilet paper there, but you don't need much.
No, but I mean,
Just to dry up.
you get blasted. What do? You
just
they have
take
towels there to dry
You
yourself
just take
off.
some
or
TP and dab it up.
Dab it off.
Yeah, just dab it off. No big
Really,
deal.
you know, my Costa Rican experience was a little different when it came to toilet paper than yours. One of the first instructions we got when we got to Costa Rica was our septic system doesn't handle the toilet paper. So if you'd like to wipe your ass, just put it in the trash bin beside you.
If you'd like to.
You know, like that would be very nice for our whole country because you're not going to plug up our shit. I'm like, I'm here a week. Enjoy your flood. I am not fucking putting my shit ticket in the garbage. You know, when my wife's got to go there and brush her teeth after, there's going to be a big fucking. That'd be the most. I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to bend in that way to their culture, even knowing that it really would help out their infrastructure.
They didn't ask you at the front desk, like, why was there no shit paper in your garbage can? Where'd all your paper go?
He
That's
used
it.
his hand.
No, you know what? You know what? If there was a, to be honest, this was how I justified it in my head when I was there. If there was a lid on the garbage can, like if there's a lid on the garbage can, I said that's one for poop toilet paper, right?
Oh yeah, keep the flies out.
Yeah,
Or
or
in.
smell or whatever. You need the lid on it. But the other one, if it was open with no lid on it, like then I'm flushing my So I never took a shit in one that had the lid on it. I only took the shit in the one without the lid. So then I knew that I was like, hey, there was no lid,
Yeah,
right? So I flushed it. I had an excuse.
that just makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm not going to shit unless I feel completely comfortable. I usually need someone to like stroke my hair and just make me feel comfortable. Then it comes out easy. Thanks, Jane. That was good. Thank you, Dave, for reporting to the
You're
Orient.
welcome.
Right now, we do have Michael Bowe that we sent out to Surrey. Where is he?
Fernie.
Fernie, BC. We sent him to, and his
dumps.
assignment that we gave him, and I hope he's doing it, is we wanted to know what the world looked like from really high up when you're like super pissed drunk. That's what we wanted Mike to find out for us. So we are looking forward to his report back next week when Mike returns oh, no, Mike's gone.
Gone.
Yeah. Wheel Dirtbags next week. And no one's here, but we got a stacked band coming in, so
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
you guys.
Can't wait.
Fuck you guys. I got backup vocals. I got Braden Akuman on guitar. Oh, my
I think we got some keys.
Oh,
go.
Are you playing bass?
I'll do whatever you need,
Look
Pete.
Wes right in the face. Look Wes right in the face
do
and tell
whatever
him
you
you're
need.
playing his instrument.
bring
That
my
is
own
really
bass.
going to make him upset. You guys are going to fight by the end of the night. I know it. Right now, you're both kind of like cordial to one another, smiling. Oh, yeah. And then by the end, you're going to be like puffing your chests up and measuring dicks and stuff. That's how it always goes here by the end of the night, eh?
Could we have a base off?
Yeah, bass off.
Oh.
Oh,
man.
Charters, you're
I'm
outcocked.
gonna need more practice.
Yeah, you were way outcocked here on this one. So, anyways, we were looking for the reports. I wanted to make sure we got it out of the way. The only other thing that we got to do before we get to our great guest here tonight is do a little segment we call Feedback. We got feedback.
We got feedback.
Motherfucking feedback.
Welcome to Feedback. We got feedback. This week's this week's segment is brought to you as always by our good friends at Clean Flow. Clean Flow, our primary sponsor. Are you doing scary, Dave?
I'm getting nervous.
I'm sorry. No, you don't have to write a commercial for Clean Flow
Oh,
yet.
my God.
You don't have to write a commercial for Clean Flow yet. But I will make. I do have to start making promises to Mr. O at Clean Flow.
Clean Flow hasn't made its way to the Orient yet. Even
No.
though I spread posters everywhere when I was there.
Well, at least you did that. At least you did that, Dave. You know who else this show is brought to you by? Our friends at Amazon. Go to the Life in the Dutch Hall website. If you want to go shopping at Amazon, you can shop for anything. They got everything. Check the prices. They're pretty good. And you go to my website first. Shut off your ad blockers if you got them. Then there's an Amazon thing. You click on that. And then you do your Amazon shopping. And then I get money for that. Money.
Cheddar.
And we spend it on shit. That's how the economy works. So then, so do that. And then, what else? Who else is this sponsored by? We're sponsored by our friends at Norfolk.
The
There you go, Paul. Yeah, Paul's out. Mike, this there is. He's like you're neutered. You can't do it. And the sponsor, Norfolk.
You say what you
The
want.
beef
me to
people.
Thank you, Brad. They expect Paul to be delivering the line every time I say Norfolk.
The beef people.
That's how it goes. So that when people are in Norwich and they're hungry, they'll think Norfolk.
The beef people.
That's it.
Head church.
You know who else sponsors us? Van Dyke Party Services.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah, you're wondering what they are? Well, you haven't been listening to the show then. We do it every fucking week. You know? Most people out there, they want to do something nice. You know, you want to do something nice for your woman. Maybe go out on a nice date. Let's say you're dating. You're in the dating scene. You're trying to get a girl on Tinder or something like that, and you want to say, I'm going to knock this girl's socks off because she's way out of my league. You know, I really want to impress her. You know, I want to show. You know what's going to impress a woman? Having a great time. Having a great time. And you, my friend, taking her to some dimly lit restaurant with overpriced food is not going to knock this girl's socks off. You know what you need to do? Invite between 5 and 29 Van Dyke first cousins. We will come in bright yellow jackets, and all it's going to cost you is $100 of cold hard cash, and you're going to have the time of your life, guaranteed. You actually have to pay for our expenses as well, which will be dear, but if you're not 100% satisfied, we'll give you that $100 back, but those expenses have run through our bodies and potentially yours. Van Dyke Party Services.
Don't live your life in regret.
Brought to you by Clean Flow. And the other person that we always have to reach out to is Yarmy Electric. Yarmy Electric, God damn it, you know, leave him alone. He's busy. That's it. We're going to make this a short one this week. Derek Yarmy, hell of a proprietor of Yarmy Electric. He does so much for the community. And what he doesn't need to do is solve all your fucking problems with your bullshit, okay? So find someone else. He does not want your business or need it. The guy's freaking busy, you know? Like, please. Yarmy Electric, if you don't get right the first time, we'll get it right the second time. If we don't get right the second time,
Why don't you just go and fuck yourself?
yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Listen up.
That's it for the ads. We got them done. And, you know, we have a few campaigns going here at Live from the Dutch Hall, and we have to touch on them as part of this segment because I don't remember what I say on the show a lot. You know, like I say things, and then listeners will give me feedback, and then I'll forget what they're talking about. You know, like one person gave us a suggestion for what we can do for our telethon. Do you remember our telethon idea?
Yeah.
I didn't. You know. Anyways, so I watched the show, and I was like, oh shit, I did all say all that stuff. You know. And then, anyways, so we said we were going to do a telethon to raise funds for the show, and we would give our listeners like little, like levels of commitment. If you give us so much money, we'll do these things for you as listeners, right?
Oh, that makes sense. Like a tiered system.
Like a tiered system, Dave. That's right. And so what we did was we said one of them would be we would do the Eduardo video,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
With Dave as starring as my wife. I would be Eduardo, and Dave would be my wife, Eduardo's wife, Consuelo.
Way low.
Way low. And then the other one was hot tub footage. Hot tub footage
Oh, yeah, that's
would be
gotta get
released. And then the last one we had was break the world's record for the world's longest podcast. That's like was the biggest thing we could think of.
Yeah.
Well, we had a listener who said to us, who was it that said this? I forget who said it. They said, I don't know who said it, but they said, what it said was, beer chugging contest in our thongs. Oh shit! You know who
must be
said
Barbie
that?
Mansion girls. That's
No,
what I
it
would
wasn't.
guess.
It was the cheese lady that said it. That's what it was. I spoiler it, but don't worry, she's got a whole long story for her segment. But cheese lady said, wear a thong and do a thing. So I'm like, we have thongs, but except for Wes.
I didn't get one either.
What? Who got thongs then?
What'd you get?
Paul got one.
You can wear mine, Steve.
Not after you've worn it. And tell me you didn't wear that thong.
He's totally
Oh,
worn
of
it.
course I did.
You tried it on right away when you got home, right? What did your wife think?
I've had to wash it a few times actually.
Ew. Why? What, does this get
Because
dirty
when you wear
you're wearing it
undergarments,
around?
you wash them, don't you?
A few times, though, you said. That means you wore it more than once. You wore it multiple times.
It's a very nice thong.
It just got really dirty.
Was it
time.
is it
I went to Cuba last year. Come on.
Would you ever do that for real? Would you ever wear like a German bathing suit?
At the beach, I would wear one of those Euro suits. Not like the Speedo that comes to mind when you say Speedo, but you know that tight Euro suit.
They're like
short
they're
shorts?
like boxer briefs, kind of, right? We one time pretended.
Nice and tight.
One time we went to my cousin's stag in Niagara Falls, and me and my cousin Kev brought our bathing suits, but Mike, he didn't bring a bathing suit, so he just went down in his boxer briefs to the pool with us, and we just said we pretended he was European the whole time. So then we spoke like in Dutch, but we didn't know how to speak Dutch, right? So we just like made up Dutch words.
Oh yes.
Yeah, very like loud in the hot tub for like hours. It was it was super fun. I really enjoyed it. Anyways, Mike in his underpants. That was the point. So where the fuck was I? Oh, we had another campaign. So anyways, she wants us to do that. So where would that fall? The beer chugging in a thong, like in the scale of like Eduardo the video. What was the second one? Eduardo the video, the hot tub footage, beer chugging in a thong, and the world's record. Where does it fall? Is that a pretty good order?
The world record's 150 hours and 30 minutes. So
That's like a week.
What?
that's a long time. 150 hours.
What
30
did someone
minutes.
just break it?
I just looked it up.
I thought it was like 3 days.
That's a webcast. World's longest uninterrupted live webcast.
Hey, I was there. What is it called?
It's called. It doesn't say the name of it, but it's by Lifestyler. Some. I don't know.
Lifestyler, right?
It's not Epidemic Music
Lifestyler
Group?
TV.
No.
No.
Oh,
Cologne.
that was the
You got beat.
longest gig.
Cologne, Germany.
Well, that was the
so
longest gig by multiple acts.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was probably mostly about.
The Germans have the record
fisting.
right now
Yeah.
for a week.
Yes.
150 hours, whatever that is.
What? 24 is a day, so four of those is like 100.
6 days. 6
days.
Yeah,
It's
six
like
and
a
bit.
week, right?
Just a week.
They rested on Sunday.
Well, Jesus, I'm not going to let the Germans beat us. I might put that like first. When it like now, look at Steven's smugness over there. You know, and also I'm going to skip ahead and feedback because I didn't like Steve's look right there. I think it's about time to give him his medicine. And it is feedback from one of the show's greatest supporters, who's been a little quiet lately on feedback. But he's back. He's my father, Willie Van Dyke.
Willie.
He really deserves his own theme song. And normally his criticism, and I say criticism because in the most loving way, my dad is making the show better. He's trying to make the show better by giving us honest feedback, which is what we asked for. But normally it is a little critical of Dave Charter's voice. Normally. But Charters has been away for long enough. My dad has like forgotten about his annoyance with Charters and has moved on to Steve.
Good.
So, can we guess what my dad's problem with Steve is? Anyone?
No
Paul
idea.
might guess it. You might guess it.
German.
This is your dad too. Nothing to do with the German. Good guess though. Nothing to do with his Germanness. Steve has, in my dad's opinion, has become a bit of a diva since we switched to video.
Whoa.
He feels
Fashion.
that you're hamming it up to the camera a lot.
Wow.
And his direct words are, tell him to stop waving at the fucking camera. Is exactly what he said.
Hi, Willie.
Is exactly what he
Give
said.
him a little kiss.
I'm not gonna kiss the man, but I'll wave.
Anyways, I thought it was. There you go. Thank you very much. There you go. Yeah, that's a nice one.
I used all 5 fingers.
Another campaign that we came out with this last week was that we would contact any guest that any listener thinks is would be good for the show, no matter who they are, because social media exists and you can pretty much contact anybody. But sometimes if you like go on Instagram and contact somebody, it's kind of like just like yelling into the ocean and hoping a fish jumps in your boat, you know? But I would promise to be as creative as I can to contact these people, especially if I want to have them on the show. If I don't really want to, I will just do the yelling at the ocean bit. I promise. But I will contact them one way or another, and I have been contacting these people.
Have you got any hits on that yet?
With people saying they'll do my show?
With people giving you suggestions.
Oh, yes, that's what I was going to tell you, Dave.
good.
You know one guy, Kevin Van Dungen?
Oh,
Remember
I know
him?
Kev. Oh, yeah.
Went to grade school with him, didn't you, Dave?
Sure did.
He suggested 2 people on 2 different platforms. One, he said it was Chip Chipperson, which is going to be a hard one for me to contact, because Chip Chipperson, for those who don't know, he's got one of the biggest podcasts out of New York on the Riotcast Network. And Chip Chipperson is an alter ego of comedian Jim Norton.
Yeah.
He was on he used to have this character. He started on the Opie and Anthony show, and then it kind of became real, and now it's like it's like a big show. So I don't know how to contact a fictional person, but I will try. And he said Nick DiPaolo, comedian Nick DiPaolo, so I have to reach out to Nick DiPaolo, which is no problem because I am a fan. Then Midnight Toker suggested Harold, a.k.a. Pat McKenna. You know who that guy is? You know that, Dave?
Pat McKenna?
Yeah.
No. Maybe.
You know Red Green?
Oh, yeah.
It's the nerdy guy.
Oh, yeah. I know him.
That's how I write. Yeah.
With the accordion?
Huh?
Doesn't he have an accordion or something?
I don't know. I didn't watch the show ever.
Oh.
Not even once.
Oh.
I didn't like it. What I saw of it, I didn't like. Anyways, Laura Collins said Seth Rogen, please. He's hot, funny, and Canadian.
Oh.
I don't know about hot.
That's a stretch.
Yeah, he might be funny, but it's only his funniness that makes him attractive. He's like, if you look at him for his features, he's probably ugly, wouldn't you say?
He's average.
Seth Rogen?
He looks a bit like these two.
Like if you melded Steve and Dave, you would
like
get
a
Seth
cross
Rogen.
between them.
He's pretty much here right now.
Yeah, and I stand by my statement. Very unattractive. Chris Pick, former guest Chris Pick, said Jenna Jameson.
Oh, there you go.
Old time porn star. Huge vagina, as I remember. Like, I remember that being the thing when I watched her movies. You would watch it and say, like, it seems like a bigger opening than most of them. But that would be something to talk about. I'll reach out to Jenna. And then Matt Osborne gave us a message. And
Hey,
this comes with some clout, Charters. He says Kiss.
Oh.
But not the band, the Little People version. The Little People version of Kiss.
Is that a real thing?
He says it's a real thing, and he not only says it's a real thing, he says he will pay the gas money for the short tour bus. Is what he said.
It's not short in length.
What's the name of the
short
band?
in-
Sure.
I don't know. He says Kiss Little People version.
They should call it Smooch.
Yeah, just a peck on the cheek. Bailey Aycock said Jeremy Taggart or Jonathan Torrens or both.
Oh.
So Taggart or Torrens or Taggart and Torrens.
Torrens seems attainable.
Torrens more attainable than Taggart?
I don't know Taggart, so maybe not.
I would say Taggart seems more because I don't know him as well. Jonathan Torrens is J-Rock, right?
Jonavision. Yeah.
Yeah, Jonavision. Yeah. Does that count as a late night show? That's like a talk soup kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was
wasn't
Oh, was it?
It was for
in
tweens.
the afternoon. Oh yeah.
It was for tweens for sure.
Alex Eco says Joe Rogan. I already contacted him. Xavier
Here he comes now.
Xavier sent 385 says Donnie O'Malley. Have you ever heard of Donnie O'Malley? He makes like dirty, kind of funny videos for veterans only, just to make them laugh.
Oh,
That's what
that's
I.
noble.
Yeah. It's mostly like fucking shampoo bottles and stuff. Like he does that sort of stuff. Anyways, Otter Villain threw me a curveball here. What he did was he threw my arch rival and main competitor in the Canadian late night scene, Frank D'Angelo, on the list. And for those that don't know Frank D'Angelo, does anyone know Frank D'Angelo? Do you know?
No,
Never
no
heard of
one
her.
knows Frank D'Angelo.
No. Frank D'Angelo is the juice guy. Remember, like D'Angelo juice, and he would like the apple juice, and he'd catch it in his goalie glove. He did commercials like that, and then he was
How long ago are we talking?
like in the '90s. And then, so he made a bunch of money, and then he started making like I think energy drinks or something. And then he was like he would do commercials with hockey players and shit. Yeah, like
almost sounds familiar.
it's like very Toronto or Hamilton or something. Like it's like very kind of regional, but Frank kind of like I don't know. He's got friends that are hockey players or something like that. He comes across like the kind of Italian that would like check if you're wearing a wire. You know what I mean? He seems like the kind of guy
It's a
that would be
little sketchy.
Yeah, he went into movie making and made some real great movies. If you can watch his movies, they're terrific. Like I really am a huge fan of Frank D'Angelo movies. I wish I knew some of the names of them because they're just horrible. Like they're like beyond.
fan.
Like like they're
No,
shitty.
you're a huge fan.
Yeah. Like I love those kind of movies. Like as like the worst made movies that people thought that would be good. Like the delusional mother. Like
Hell Comes to Frogtown. You ever see that?
An amazing movie.
That's a good
Rowdy
one.
Roddy.
Rowdy
At his
Roddy
best.
Piper.
oh yeah. I saw the other one, the one where he wears the glasses.
They Live.
They
They
live.
Live.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
great one.
I saw that one. That was good. Yeah, Roddy Piper.
Look up Hell Comes to Frogtown. You'll love
Oh, I have to.
It'll
yeah.
change your life.
Yeah, I remember my dad woke me up in the morning one time because he had the TV on. It was on like HBO late night or something, and he saw this movie. It was called The Killer Condoms, and it was about these condoms. It was a German movie with subtitles, figures. And then he went across the condoms would come across the counter when people were sleeping, and then like kill them, or not a nightstand. They kill these guys, and it was as bad as the concept, Like the movie was actually if that idea was bad, then like the person that shot it was just as bad. The person that did the audio was as bad. The person that did the lighting was just as bad. Like the
Not
whole
a big lineup of people who want to work on that movie.
there was no
It's like,
redeeming
who would-
quality. Yeah, it was great. Anyways, Frank's movies kind of remind me of those, and which I like. So I'm not going to fault him for that. And then, but he has a late night talk show, but it is not in the ballpark of Live from the Dutch Hall, I would say.
Obviously.
So for me to have Frank D'Angelo, and it hurts me, because what I'm doing is I'm giving a platform for my greatest competitor, Frank D'Angelo. In this country, he is my greatest competitor. So I don't know. I will reach out because I'm a man of my word, but I don't like it. Don't like it one bit. And we actually got a feedback on an old video on YouTube. And this one was for the Iron Sheik video. And this guy says he's a new listener. His name is Brat Soro. He says, this was gold as a Polak. I'm embarrassed your blockhead friend didn't make the drive for this interview. Charters, I think that was directed at you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Fair.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome aboard. I said that he has every right to be embarrassed because you're kind of like you make a bad name for all the Polish people that are out there that are decent people. I would say. Anyways, the only other person we have to talk to two. One is a lady. She's been with us for quite a while. She's our good friend, the Cheese Lady. Check in on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady. Check in on the cheese lady, always having fun. Check in on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady. Check in on the cheese lady, always on the run. Well, the cheese lady this week gave us some feedback. This is Teresa from the Second Mouse in Delhi. Teresa said, shitholes, LOL. You guys are super creative, love the show, and so that's another thing. Shitholes, LOL. I'm like, what did I fucking say about shitholes? And then,
I
so
don't think it's what you said about shitholes.
what?
Might have been what Trump said about shitholes.
Oh no, I think it's in this.
She was addressing you guys.
maybe
Shitholes.
actually, to be honest, it
Shitholes,
doesn't even
comma.
say shithole. It says star hole.
Oh.
So it could be cunt hole,
Fuckhole.
fuck hole,
Fuckholes.
fuck hole. Maybe it was fuck hole.
Hole.
3 stars.
Oh, hole.
4 stars.
4 stars.
Yeah. LOL. You guys are super creative. Love the show and it's lots of fun. This term, which I think is shithole, but could be fuckhole. This term reminds me of the time I was snowboarding up north. Oh, maybe it was the fuckholes. We did the legend of the fuckholes.
There you go.
Ah. This term reminds me of the time I was snowboarding up north. We were all exhausted and couldn't find a motel due to a ski convention. No, we didn't have the common sense to pre-book. We thought we were being adventurous and winging it. My first clue was being asked if I wanted to rent the room by the hour or the night. Now, Teresa, that says 2 things. Number 1, you're in a dive motel. But number 2, you were probably dressed provocatively. Those 2 things. I don't know.
Just saying.
Just saying. Needless to say, my exhaustion took over, so we rented for the night and slept on top of the covers without any clothes on. No, she that was a typo. It was she went on to fix it, but it was with any clothes on, with our clothes on. It was disturbing to lay there trying to get them out of our mind the shenanigans that had probably gone on from the previous guests. Ew. Which is a nice way of saying all the cum you're lying on, which you were, and yeah, that grosses you out. Now, you guys have been. Have you guys? What's the furthest you've been, like for a gig?
Sudbury.
Oh.
Sudbury.
Unless you count Vancouver, I've played in Vancouver, but not. With
You
these
live
guys.
there. That's not far for you when you.
That
live
wasn't
Yeah.
far from me. My home base was
Yeah,
like
the furthest you travel was to
yeah.
Sudbury. So you're all. Did you stay at a hotel, a motel,
No, we
Oh,
stayed at this
God.
dude's house.
at a dude's house?
Oh yeah.
Like a dude that we didn't know.
And was his house comparable to the lifestyle you've grown accustomed to?
On the road from that one gig, yes.
I think I slept on the floor, like on a carpeted floor, with my backpack as a pillow and my coat as a blanket.
Yeah.
This guy, actually, we had to rent the bar, and this guy put his PlayStation into Hawk. Now, this is 1999 or so, but he put his PlayStation into Hawk to
His
rent the
PlayStation
bar
1.
so that we could play this show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then we had to give him a ride because he didn't drive. The next day, we had to give him a ride to the pawn shop to get his thing
His
back because he made his
PlayStation.
money back,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
From
yeah.
the door.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. And that's actually what it takes. Is like guys like that will just like give you a
Dedication.
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheese Lady, thanks a lot. We got one more guy to talk to. That's our good buddy. He's been with us since week 1. He's been an avid listener of our program. He's our good buddy, the Haitian Dwarf. That stupid, horrible thing for more. Oh, you forget? No, I have to sing everything.
What was
I'm
that?
a terrible singer. Hi ho, hi ho.
Oh, I had to sing it?
I don't know. Somebody did. It was
I'm new at the-
every
I'm new
fucking
at the
time.
band
I had to
leader thing.
rap and then sing 2 things. I don't do either of those things. Anyways, you've been gone for 3 weeks. You don't fucking do nothing.
Your name is on the show, bud.
Yeah. Oh, me.
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were backing me up. Fuck you,
Sorry.
Brad. All right. Haitian Dwarf goes on iTunes and he gave us feedback this week. 5 stars. 5 stars. He says, "Elephant Puss" was the title of the interview of the feedback. Great interview. Actually funny. Didn't see that coming. Quite refreshing. That is a glowing review.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
that was due to that was, and I went back and tried to listen to what was the last show I did, so I could see what was good about it, and it wasn't that one he was talking about. He was talking about the Chiang Mai Chubby Choker. Yeah, and those guys were great guests, and hopefully they'll travel some more so we can hear more stories about Ben jerking off somewhere. And that's it for feedback, everybody. Now,
Nice track,
my guests tonight have been in here. You might recognize some of the faces if you see them from pictures. they look a lot like this band we had in here a while ago called Zeffler. And some of them actually look quite a bit like the people we had from Huck Jen. And but this is not either of those carnations. This, my friend. These are the HippoZ.
Woo.
And they're gonna. What are you gonna open with, fellas?
Good question. We never really talked about it. What do you want to start with?
FYG.
Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters.
Or FYG?
Yeah.
FYG. Fucking your girl.
Okay.
It's a song called I'm Fucking Your Girl.
FYG, we also call it.
Yes.
For short.
Don't got no black dope plan. I'll go out the front door and I shake your fucking hand. Shut in the bathroom, brushing her teeth. She probably wanna shower too. She smells like my feet. Yo, bro, my nuts smell just like your girl's face. And yo, your bro knows just how my breath tastes. Look, we're friendly like that. I seen those tattoos. There's a mess on your back, and it is you know whose. She's making a lot of noise when I'm rocking her world, and I know all of this because I'm fucking your girl. That's right. I'm fucking her slow. I'm fucking her fast. You know I'm fucking in her face, and I'm fucking in her wrist. Yeah, we fucking. Me and the girl. Yeah, steady fucking. Yo, your girl just got laid, bro. Where the fuck were you? I'm playing video games. What level to make it to? That's pretty good, bro. Fucking A, good for you. Your girlfriend's in the shower cleaning off my goo. Let me ask you this, I got a question for ya. You don't have to answer it if you don't wanna, but she's got no fucking ring on, but she's wearing my pearls. Did you even notice me fucking your girl? I'm fucking her hoes. I'm having a blast. You know I'm fucking on her face, and I'm fucking in her ass. Yeah, we fucking. Me and your girl. Yeah, we steady fucking. Fucking your girl too, Starsky. On how to keep your bitch. Go get a dinner job and you need a bigger dick. I've been loading your mind, but that bitch is getting older. Once she hits 30, yo, I stop coming over. She won't want dinner when the dick is up in her. Want something to eat, just feed her that meat. The rover, the bitch likes the rover. She won't wanna cuddle if you leave her in a puddle. I'm fucking slow. I'm fucking fast. You know I'm fucking out of face, and I'm fucking in her asshole. Fuck. Need a girl? Yeah, steady fucking. Who's fucking? We fucking, girl. Who's fucking? Who's fucking? Who's fucking? Right, who's fucking? That's right.
All right. HippoZ, everybody. So
Yeah.
when you hear the song like that, my first question that comes to mind is you're a father and a family man, have a job, and
Yeah.
a real
Not-
guy, right?
Not at the time. Not when we started this band.
Oh, no?
This is a bit of a side project for us, yeah.
So how long has this incarnation been creating?
Good question there. When did you start going on afternoons there, Hoover?
Probably about 12 years ago or so.
Yeah.
This was a project that we started, Paul and I started doing, just the two of us, when we were jamming as a three-piece with Kevin. And Kevin would like bail on jam night at the last minute. And one day we were like, let's write a rap song. And then so Paul sat down behind the drums and I just freestyled some kind of bass thing. And then
It
we
was
spent
terrible.
the next few hours, pining over some lyrics. We threw it down, and by the end of the night, we had a rap song. And over the course of the next couple of years, we wrote like 10 or 12 of them. And,
And then
They
Starsky
were-
showed up, and then
Yeah.
we were like, oh, okay. That's,
Now we can do
now
everything.
it's actually a real
yeah,
thing.
Starsky, when we met him, we were recording another album for another thing, and
For a
just
movie.
happened to, a soundtrack to a movie.
Kind of like your D'Angelo fucking
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
There's a bit
Oh
of
yeah,
a-
you're his.
there's
Totally.
a C-
But he helped us
C
with
movie.
that, and we just casually drinking one night and going through that stuff, and we were like, hey, check out some of this other garbage we did. And he was like, this shit is fucking
I
not,
kind of flipped for it. I
not
was like,
terrible,
yeah.
man. This
It sounds like shit, but there's something there for sure.
Yeah. And so he talked us into doing more of it. And so next thing you know, we turned it into like an actual like thing.
Yeah, and I think that I think it's an underserved market, to be honest with you. Like I think there's like not enough of
Gangster rock? Yeah, I think there's only...
Live band hip hop, you mean?
yeah, but also like something that's funny and something that people like that's just like it's tongue in cheek bravado. You're poking fun at kind of the over the top.
Well, it's four dads doing filthy sex rap.
yeah, which is
Like we're badass gangsters.
yeah,
That's right.
exactly. That's kind of my point. Is that like
We were going to ask that you did this in like a negative shot just to show us in blackface, but that's a bit of post. But maybe we'll do it in post.
That's the other part about rap is that like I have a friend of mine, Devin Bateson, who he did a rap album and he just came out with a cassette of beats and stuff like that. But he does it. He's a very white suburban dude, and so he doesn't. That's how he raps, like as a white suburban dude, like not even like it's in his own voice, like so it's kind of what's unique about it because he says the rap is rhythm and poetry, and that the persona or whatever that you're using to perform it doesn't have to be the canned
Over the top. Yeah.
the canned rap persona of like this, which has turned into just bravado and like my cock's big. I drink a lot at the club. I bang a lot of chicks. I that's all this
Drugs, guns, money, and women.
Yeah,
That's what
Drugs,
we
Guns,
make fun
Money,
of.
and Women is the name of our album.
is it? Yeah. So you
it's
nailed
exactly that.
it. Yeah.
Tell him the first line.
I'm tossing on my trunks and I'm about to go swimming in my big pile of drugs, guns, money, and women.
Yeah. That's exactly it, though, right?
Like Scrooge McDuck.
And
I don't give a fuck.
And the other part about it is that, like, what Starsky was hitting on is that you're like, when you're like a regular dude and you're living kind of like a life where you're trying to like just pay the bills and shit and like be a good dad and all that stuff, and then but you're just a little boy really on the inside who laughs at dick jokes,
Totally.
It's totally funny, It never gonna. That's why I keep telling dick jokes. I'm like. Even my daughter tells me, you can do better than this, Dad. I'm like, but I like these things. I like these dick jokes. I can't help it,
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I agree 100%.
Dick jokes are rule.
If you don't get it out of you, though, like it's just like you're going to let it fester, and then you're not going to like dick jokes anymore. Soon you won't laugh at farts or something, Like, where's the end of it, How much do I have to give up of myself?
You should have replied with a fart.
Yeah.
And then see if she laughed or not.
Yeah. I showed her. This guy followed me on Instagram named, I think it's the Fart Man, isn't he? Do you remember what it was? Who he was called? I think he was called the Fart Man. Anyways, he followed me on Instagram, and I looked up his thing, and I followed him right away. It's just, all he puts out is posts of him recording his farts. So he just audio records him farting, and you see it's all like videos, but it's just like he's got a fart coming. He just like hits record, puts the camera to his ass and farts.
How many followers?
Only like 650, but I think we can break this guy because I'm a huge fan. And I sent it to, like, I showed my wife in the kitchen. I'm like, look at this guy, like he's a genius, you know. And I'm playing him and laughing. I'll see if I can get him up here.
If Kim Kardashian, who has zero talent, I think we can all agree, has 2 billion or something followers, and she doesn't even fart,
No,
right?
if she farted, she'd be even
Oh, yeah.
huger.
Probably go up to 3.
Yeah.
That opens her up to a whole new audience.
It sure
Oh
does.
yeah.
She's got my
I have no
like,
interest in
she's got
Kim
my-
Kardashian, but I would have a lot of interest in Kim Kardashian's fart feed.
Yep.
Oh man, those big ass cheeks just flopping. Imagine the acoustics.
Slow motion, right? Slowed right down like those
Oh.
slow-mo guys.
I would pay, man.
Yeah.
She's missing an
Put that through your new
opportunity.
pedal.
Slow motion.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Looping farts.
Looping farts.
Oh no, sorry. I want to. This guy's called Just Farts. Just Farts on Instagram. So for everybody that wants to check this guy out, this is a sample of his work. I'll see if I can crank it up. Oh, that was just a little one.
That's beautiful.
Let's see. I'll do another one, just random.
He's got something.
That sounded like Taco Bell.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this one.
Musical.
Yeah, it's nice, right?
You can see why he wants to record them, though. These aren't normal farts.
No, he has a bacterial problem in his digestive system.
Right.
Yeah, which is working for his favor. You know, it's just underscore farts. I mean, let's make him huge.
There you go.
Let's make him huge. I want this guy. This is who I picked to ask to be on the show. It's just farts. He's a hero.
How do you prep for that? Like, what if he showed up and he couldn't fart?
Oh, cabbage. I mean, I'd have all the staples.
Chili.
Like, my wife's Hungarian. We'd have, like, cabbage rolls and
Get him here a couple
coleslaw.
hours early.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just feed him some stuff. No problem. Some of that sausage, Shane? Oh, yeah, he would be awful. Yeah. Plus, I think he's a pro. So, I was saying that's it for Just Farts, but no, what I mean, it's a big part of your life, is what I mean. You want to try to get that. You don't want to let that part of you die, because that's how you stay young and have
Gotta
fun.
have a balance.
Yeah. So, are any of your kids old enough to like the music or hear the songs?
Okay, I'll give you a quick one. So my daughter's 9.
Yeah.
So we released the album in our first album.
Yeah.
We got one coming up. And we'll talk about that later. 2012.
Yeah, I think so.
So whatever the math is on that. So about a year after that, she heard the first song, and I showed it to her because it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And every song on this album is worse than the one before it. Like, this one's pretty middle of the road. But we have one called Butt Naked, and it's about when we're playing a show and you're watching us play the show. Get your fucking tits out. What's the problem? You're gonna take your fucking shirt off later on to go to bed anyway,
Might as
right?
well
So
be
you
now.
might as well. Yeah, you're
Pop a
young.
tit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Pop a tit.
but the
That's my
point of
tit,
that one
bitch.
is,
Yeah.
it was supposed to be our club jam. We wrote it. We're like, this is gonna be, obviously tongue in cheek. This is gonna be the one that's gonna fucking be on all, So we only swear once. What is it? We say the S word, do we not?
No,
Yeah, like honey, whip your shit out. 'Cause
Whip your
shit runs
shit
through the
out.
Oh,
tip.
yeah?
Oh,
yeah, we
I
do.
think that's it. Yeah.
That's it.
You do also say put your holes in the air.
Well, sure, put your
That's
holes
not
in
a
the
swear
air, but
word.
that's not a swear word.
You can
That's
say both. You
technically
can say
not
that
a swear word.
on CBC.
So
what about tits?
So tits doesn't count as a
That's
swear word in my
anatomy,
house.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's relative to what you choose to expose your child to, right? So I showed her this song, and she's like, "Is that you, Dad? Is that Brad? Is that Brad?" And then so it's got her mom is on the track as well, and Brad's wife doing butt naked in the background, right?
Yeah.
Girl like butt naked, and she's like, "Is that mom? Is that mom? Yeah." Is this going to be on the radio? Like, she was excited, and
Yeah.
she showed her cousin, and it was a big thing, and she thought she loved it. It was great. Now, fucking your girl?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to wait a few years before
yeah.
before she sees that.
Yeah,
hears that one.
my kids know some of my jokes, but not all of them.
See,
yeah.
it's a fine line.
Yeah.
It's a fine line.
And I think that a lot of times kids will like the rhythm and the
Oh yeah, she caught every third word, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, not so much the intricacies of the dirty
of course.
jokes.
Yeah, she had no idea.
Like watching cartoons or something like that, where most of the jokes are for the parents, not and the kids don't know some. That's why Bugs Bunny's still good when you're old and you go back and watch it. You miss some of the stuff when you're
Absolutely.
a kid.
Yeah,
So racist.
Yeah.
So racist. And
Speedy
violent.
they won't even show Speedy Gonzales anymore.
No.
Really?
No. It's too racist, apparently. Why? Because there's no Mexicans that like to take siestas with big sombreros? Come on. I don't know that whole country not found one guy sleeping against a tree with a sombrero on his face. I bet you I would. But I've never been there. We got to send somebody to go check it out. Charters. Where else did you go in Japan?
That was it, really.
No, in the Orient, I mean.
In the Orient.
Other than Japan, nothing, right?
Oh, I landed in Seoul, Korea, actually.
Oh, thank God.
I flew Korean Air on the way there, and so we stopped in Seoul. I had a little layover, and I like Koreans. Yeah, nice people.
Oh, there
I
you
don't
go.
think there's any old people in Korea. That's what I noticed in the airport. Only
They just
young
all
people.
look young,
Is that what it is?
for sure.
They look young until 75, and then they look fucking old.
Yeah.
From 76 to 85.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's like a raisin process or
Yeah.
something, right?
It is.
Like they look at grapes for a while and then just boom, raisin. Right. And then, anyways, George, you ruined our interview with your stupid
bud.
story about Korea. What did you like so much about Koreans? What impressed you about them?
They had a robot that made coffee for me. A coffee robot.
Really?
Yeah, that was cool. You just put your money in, the robot makes your coffee. Hands it out a little door for you.
Like a Keurig with a coin slot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Kinda. Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't take much to impress
They
me.
have one of those at the arena in Simcoe, right?
Their airplane had a bar at the back, like a stand-up bar. You
Really?
could go and mingle back there, yeah, with a bartender on the airplane.
Really?
Oh, that's a win.
When I go on corporate trips, the lady brings me I don't even have to get up.
Yeah, well, they had that, but when that's not working for you, because you're
Right.
kind of stuck in your seat, you can get up and go to the bar at the back, drink some vodka.
How long was the flight to that?
14 hours.
Yeah. You're going to want to stand up for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
fair enough.
At least 8 of those 14 hours.
I
You
took
wanna
a
be
piss in
before.
the first class washroom on the way down to Costa Rica, and they told me not to do that again. And there was no line there at all. And
not
there
for
was
you.
even a person in first class saying, "Oh, it's over there. It's not where you're going. That's the kitchen or whatever." I was in the kitchen, and then the stewardess was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" You know.
It's not for your kind.
No, you have to go to the back and line up, and it was way smaller too. That bathroom is way smaller. Really? Yeah, which who cares? You're just shitting in it or whatever you do. I've never shit in a plane. Has anyone shit in a plane?
No, I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah.
Did you shit in the plane?
No, I never have. It scares me, the flush and everything. I don't think I would ever do it. It would be a traumatic, because you have to face the person that's out there in the hall that's going to go into your mess, right? Like, that's the most stressful part about it. I think I could get shit in a real small space that sucks the shit in a very violent fashion when you hit flush. Like, I would want to be out of the room and hit him with a stick flush if I'm going to be flushing a shit on a plane, right?
I've
Anyway.
helped my daughter shit on a plane. Like when
Ooh.
she was like 3 and she was like, Daddy, I have to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Taking her in there and trying to, clean that up. It's a small bathroom for 2 people.
yeah.
I don't know how those people do that, Mile High Club thing. For me and a 3-year-old, it was
Yeah.
a small bathroom.
Yeah.
For 2 full-grown people going at it,
It's not
even
gonna
if you stack them, there's not a lot of room.
No, it isn't. You really have to stack in there too. Like you're only doing doggy. That's the only.
Oh,
thing.
absolutely. Absolutely.
The girl's got it, and the girl.
Or pile driver 69?
Would you have the legroom?
Tree
for
and
the-
bush, we call that.
Tree and bush.
You can wash your hair at the same time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, dyed blue.
hair.
So yeah,
Assuming you're holding her.
so have you guys heard Wheeler Walker Jr.?
Fucking right. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
I saw him on, what's his name there? The guy you're going to have on later on. Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wheeler Walker.
He was on there. He was in fucking full character. How hard it is to be a serious country music star
He's
in
the
Nashville
country
these
us.
days.
Yeah, he's
So when I heard Wheeler Walker Jr., I went to Brad and I said, "We don't have to do the fucking funny country band anymore because he's done it
nailed it,
already.
yeah.
Oh, he nails it." That's
not only that, he's
unbelievable.
like he's skipped the system. Like he's circumvented the music business.
Yeah.
And he's just done it through social media, podcasts, and getting people to act as his like salespeople.
That's
like
what we're trying to do here.
Yeah. And but he ended up making like the top 10 country charts with no radio station would play him, no nothing, right?
Redneck Shit is one of the best songs written this century. It's fucking amazing.
Actually, yeah, we're going to be playing one of his songs in a few weeks when we have Aaron Allen and the Saints in. We're going to be opening with Summer Times in Kentucky. That song.
Is that on the new one?
Yeah, it's on the new one. Yeah, it's almost if you're not paying attention, it almost sounds like a straight song, and then the real lyrics come in. But the one thing you could say is it's funny, but it's not really that outrageous. Most of what he says, like some of the songs are, but I mean, like most of what he's saying is just honest stuff and honest language, like that people actually use, and it comes across hilarious because you never hear people doing it that way in a real good song.
My favorite thing about him is you're listening to a song and he's being homophobic, misogynistic, whatever it is, but then he'll throw in, and then I licked my brother's asshole, right? Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it would have appealed to anyone of a misogynistic or homophobic bent until he says that, and it's kind of like a fuck you to those guys.
Yeah,
where it's
yeah.
like, oh, okay. Now he's licking his brother's ass. I don't know if I like this anymore. This isn't funny anymore, right?
Yeah.
But he's doing it right. He's doing it right.
Yeah,
Sucking
what
his
was the
brother's
one?
ass.
He goes something about he was gonna in one of the songs he fucks both the brothers and then
Yeah, he does.
he
If I had my druthers, I'd fuck. Oh, I'd butt fuck both your brothers.
yeah. And something about
amazing.
if I had a sister, I'm pretty sure I'd fist her or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like sister and fister.
solid
I never
rhyme.
thought of that rhyme. I'm
yeah.
like, that's genius. Sister and fister. I never.
Save it
would've-
for Hank the Drunken Dwarf.
So, Wheeler Walker. Where was I going with that one? Wheeler circumvented the system, the music system, and did it all so that he just did it through this new way. And you get to keep all the money that way too, right?
Absolutely.
So, like in a way, the music business kind of like sucks because there's not much of one left anymore, right? But in a way, like there's no barriers to entry on what you want to do as far as a band
Absolutely,
goes,
yeah.
to be able to take it as far as you want to, or to have as much fun with it as you want to have with it,
Yeah.
We all get to not make it in our own way. now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, including absolutely nothing.
But-
right? that's
but-
also an option.
But the nice part is that what used to be considered a failure is now actually a success.
Yeah.
Because like before, if you had like 20,000 sales, you'd be like, oh, geez,
There's no metric. There's no conventional metric for success anymore.
No,
Yeah.
because now you don't even measure it on sales because most people give away their music anyways, and then it's on touring or whatever. But you really just get what you want out of it.
So we go to a lot of because we are learning about bands and new music in this way, right? So you find it on YouTube, you find it on Spotify, or he does, and he tells me, so it's organic.
Yeah.
So we've seen a bunch of bands where, oh my God, these guys are amazing, and 432 followers on YouTube or whatever. You go to their show, and there's 37 people there, and they're like, "Thanks so much for coming to our show." And then the next time they come,
Yeah, they've
there's
blown up.
250, and then there's 7,000. So
Yeah.
that's the new metric: is how quickly you can blow up. That's what I've found.
You
is-
absolutely need to buy T-shirts. when
yeah,
you go
yeah,
and see
they
these
want-
bands, because if you don't buy a T-shirt, these guys don't get to eat Wendy's. In
Yeah,
your
yeah.
van.
They're not making
yeah.
money off their music anymore. It's
No,
it's
no.
the ticket sales and it's T-shirt sales, record sales.
Vinyl.
Records are
Tapes
like
now.
vinyl, absolutely. Yeah.
Tapes.
Tapes have
I've
come
seen
back, yeah.
Tapes at shows.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. Actually, I just bought my daughter for her birthday a record player, but it
Uh-huh.
came with a CD player and a tape deck and
Okay.
and Bluetooth and all that shit.
Uh-huh.
But like the tape deck is one thing I couldn't believe, and now tapes are like really like people are coming like even Sunrise or whatever they call HMV or whatever there's left.
Right.
They sell tapes and records now. They don't even sell CDs, and you don't need audio because you'll get it online, right? Or you don't
Yeah.
need digital. I mean, so that's the kind of the new thing.
When we put out our album in 2012, we did it on a USB stick.
You got it?
I don't actually. I have it in the truck, but it's of course it's a gun with a USB kind of as the
clip is
as
the
Oh, yeah, yeah?
USB
Oh,
stick.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's another way of doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you can do that.
Yeah.
What if you could do? You could probably do a lighter like that, with the USB in it.
We looked. I looked into Zippos for Zeffler,
Yeah.
but they were super expensive. Like we would have had to charge $50 per. Right?
That's the problem, right? You want to
Yeah.
get creative with it. Like, remember Flaming Lips did the fucking gummy vagina
Of
thing? That
course.
was amazing.
Yeah,
And you had to like reach
you had to
into
birth
this
the album.
Really?
gummy,
a gummy
vagina,
vagina.
and pull out a USB stick out of a gummy
Oh,
vagina.
that is so good. I would definitely do.
Look it up.
Yeah.
It's pretty. It's intense.
Oh, that would be so cool. Yeah, but that's what you have to do. You have to be creative because
You need
anything
something.
to stick out, right? To be different.
Well, then people are buying that
Yeah.
because otherwise they just rip it off the internet or whatever. Right?
Yeah, we sold out of Rooster Sucks Balls lighters. Is the first thing we sold out of.
Look at that.
It was a picture of Dave with a mustache on the lighter, and it said Rooster Sucks Balls, and that's the first one we sold out of.
I don't
And we
even
have
smoke
ver-
it. I'd get one of those.
Yeah, and then now we only have a few like Fuck Charters mini lighters left because those ones are also popular.
I'll take one of those.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you'll get one. Oh, yeah, for sure. Anyone can get those on the Life from the Dutch Hall shop
Nice
on our
segue.
website. Yeah, you got that.
Slick.
We have to do the same thing to make money. Anything that we can do.
I'm still waiting for
We're
my
all
commission on
sluts.
that.
It's the new market.
You're waiting for what?
My commission on that.
On what?
Those lighters with my face on them.
Oh, with your face. You signed a waiver, didn't you?
I don't.
I'm pretty sure
I
you
don't
did.
remember.
I'm pretty sure you signed a waiver. We should. We're getting long. You guys. Oh, what we have to do is a segment about trends, and then we'll play us out. How about we do that?
Sounds good.
So we don't have to do this. We can just do weird facts and call it world trends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't practice this one.
World trends. World trends.
Yeah.
World trends. This is the part where we have to go on the internet and look what's trending so that we can talk about it and then we can get people to watch because they're sheep or something. I don't know how it all works. It's like an algorithm, right? So the things that are going on this week, the Olympics. The Olympics
Oh,
is
yeah.
going on. We need to talk about the Olympics. You guys been watching it? Anyone watching the Winter Olympics?
No.
I missed
I
most
saw
of
a
it.
tiny bit of figure skating at my parents' place. That was it.
Yeah?
I watched a little bit of women's hockey.
Does it seem underwhelming this time
Yeah,
around? Yeah.
it does.
Is it because they don't have male hockey players?
You mean NHL
Like
players?
NHL hockey players? Yeah, like a real. Is that why? Because that's the only thing we cared about before?
Yeah, I think maybe.
You know
Hoover?
those.
Is that true?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They even try to spice it up with that French girl pulling her tit out in the thing.
I missed that.
Did you miss it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
she-
one? Left or
It was her left
right?
tit.
Cool.
It was the
Yeah.
one that was out.
Yeah. She had like a green thing around her neck, and then it broke, and then her one tit fell out, and she had to continue her act. And if you watched it live, you saw the nipple. I missed it live. My sister told me about it. But
It's on the internet.
with the nipple.
Yes.
Now this girl. Now this girl.
The internet.
Now Steve, you've seen it, right?
I have, yes.
What was it? Ice dancing?
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
seen it many times and
So Steve,
paused it at various moments.
what do you give this girl? Like attractiveness of the French skater was probably like I would say she wasn't as attractive before you saw her tit. Is my point
I'd agree
because
with
she had quite a unique profile.
Yeah, actually, she had like all nipple. Like there was no areola whatsoever. It was just
Like a puffy nipple?
like it was just a nipple.
Ooh, I think I like it.
It's like a beady eye.
Really?
Did you feel awkward masturbating to it, or it was just a standard?
Standard boob.
Is she an adult,
Standard-
Steve? The
I hope so.
He's German.
Yeah.
Eh? He's into some weird shit, I'm sure.
yeah, that's the part I didn't know about because it could be like those gymnasts.
Yeah, that's right.
You learned your lesson jerking off to them too, didn't you, Steve?
I'm
No,
not
just kidding.
saying anything.
No, I'm just kidding. Steve doesn't jerk off to gymnasts. I'm gonna say that right on the air.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're welcome, Steve.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Nice of you.
So that's the one trend. What's the other one? What's going on this week? I don't want to talk about the shooting because I don't care. Like I don't care to talk about the same thing over and over again when nothing's gonna happen. Like I just let them. They just it's crazy down there.
But you think arming teachers is a good way to fix that problem, right?
Me? No, Jim Jeffries has a good bit on that about paying a guy $16 an hour and hoping that Kevin doesn't get sad. You know, that's on the job.
Not you, Kevin.
Not you. The Kevin's
It's not all about you, for fuck's sake.
But we have the other trend I want to talk about. Oh shit, go my memory. Oh, Brantford.
Oh yeah, state of
Brantford.
emergency.
Brantford.
We barely came from there today.
I was there today.
Brantford. Yeah, I did a show there last night, and I did one the night before actually in Brantford, 2 nights in a row. Because you know what I like to do when there's a flood in a town in Canada is I like to bring laughter in order to help dry them out.
You're
right?
the Bob Hope of Brantford.
Of Brantford. Yeah. That's what I was. That was my my attempt was to try to bring them joy in their time of need. And I went to Brantford, and I told one joke, which I might as well tell because I wrote it specifically for the Brantford people in their time of trouble. And I'll just tell you right now, it had mixed reaction.
We got 2 of them in the room right now.
Brantfordites?
Yes, sir.
Does anyone live in Eagle Place?
My mother-in-law does. I don't.
No?
I used to.
You ever go to
I had all my.
She's
all
not
my
a fan
friends
of
grew
the
up
show.
in Eagle-
You can say what you like.
All my friends grew up.
Not a fan of Starsky either.
No.
All my friends grew up in Eagle Place, so I used to hang around Eagle Place all the
Yeah.
time. It was like,
I grew up there.
yeah.
For a
Right,
bit.
What road?
Harriet Street,
Oh, Harriet. My friend was on Eagle. No,
Eagle Ave.
Eagle Ave. Yeah, Eagle Ave. Anyways, this is a joke. How do you call your dog to come if you left him in Eagle Place this morning? This was what I told last night.
How?
How, Pete? How?
I said, however it makes you feel better, your dog is dead.
Yeah, that's good. I like it.
Yeah?
I'm a fan. Yeah.
There's mixed reviews in the room. I think half the city thought it was funny, and then the lower half.
Yeah. The people on the hill thought
yeah.
it was hilarious.
The ones with
right?
the dead dogs.
The sleeping bags.
Yeah, not as much.
Sleeping in the club.
I can't hear you whistle underwater.
You know, I think we're just going to end the show on this one. I'd like to thank HippoZ for coming in. All you guys are always welcome to come and join the Nocturnal Emissions anytime you want. You guys are great guests as always. And best of luck. Is there anywhere where people can see you or where they can find you?
Jesus, no.
Oh, no, we don't want this getting out. Are you kidding me? No, we've been working on an album called Monsters for about 4 years now in our spare time, of which there is, increasingly little. But it's inspired by horror movies.
Yeah.
And Brad,
What?
give us a couple examples. Like what's on the record?
Oh, we do
Everything cool from.
Yeah,
the
everything
80s.
cool. We do a song about. There's an Evil Dead one. There's
Victor Crowley.
Victor Crowley. I don't know
Predators?
if anybody watched the new Victor Crowley movie. Has anybody
Hatchet series. Adam Green.
I haven't seen
Very
it,
good.
but I would. I'm really interested.
Oh man,
It's got some of the most inventive kills. It's
yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah. If you like over-the-top slasher movies,
Yeah.
Hatchet.
So
the
we write
House series.
we write ridiculous gangster rock songs about these movies, like inspired by these movies, and the whole album is
We've got Aliens. We've got Predators. We've got
Ghostbusters.
Gremlins. Gremlins 2.
Gremlins is about
Jason and Fred, Michael.
Gremlins is about getting drunk at a bar and taking home a really ugly Oriental lady.
And she turns out to not be what you thought she was in the morning.
You thought she was awesome, but after midnight, it's great.
And did you
Don't get her wet.
You got
Don't get her wet
and then you
or
fed
feed her
after
after midnight.
Feed her
First I
after
got her wet and then I fed her after midnight.
That's actually the chorus.
Yeah, so that's coming out this year.
Oh, good call.
If you say it out loud, you have to do it.
If we say it out loud.
Halloween.
By Halloween.
Halloween
Okay.
2018.
Absolutely.
It even
Wow.
rhymes.
Oh, it rhymes, so it has to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. We actually recorded the bed tracks in 2014. That's how long we've been procrastinating this album. Accidentally started another band in the middle and gotten
That's
sidetracked.
been
a
on
little
this
bit.
show since.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to play us out with tonight?
Good question. Good question, Pete. We've got 2 songs. Which one would you like to do, guys?
It was the one that you guys were talking about. The one.
Yeah.
I think Ride the Pine.
Yeah, Ride the Pine.
Okay.
Ride the Pine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a Ride the Pine. Now before you get to it,
It's our hit.
I'm gonna
It's
start.
our hit.
I wanted to do Ghostbusters.
Oh, it's up to you.
No,
We,
it's
you
not.
call it.
No, it's up to us.
No, it's up to you, buddy.
Play 'em both, and we'll just let it run out, and people get a bonus track.
There you go.
We got just if for those of you who are still watching or listening, thank you very much. Tell your friends, share it. Give us an email at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com if you want to give us some feedback. And we're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that bullshit. And until then, we want to thank our guests, HippoZ, for coming in. We want to thank the Nocturnal Emissions and everybody, my brother Paul. And until next week, we will see you, NT. See you next Thursday.
Bye, Willie.
My dick touches the ice in a trough urinal. I was taking a shit. I got like sucked down the flush or a drip on this dick like every single day.
It fell out of your sock, bro. What can you
I said,
say?
I'm sorry, bitch, but you can't accommodate. I turn you inside out. Girl, if we was to meet, I'd be steady banging bitches with a straight big knob. Of the asshole of the mother, make a bitch combines. We got like, damn.
Who's got big dicks? We got big dicks.
Who's got big dicks?
We got big dicks. Who's that? Who's got big dicks?
We got big
We
dicks.
got big dicks.
Who's got big dicks? And it goes like
50 stories going, you're an amp to me. My dick is 10 stories low and you're an amputee. Yeah. You're all.
I'm finished.
I'm probably out the whole other spinners. I'll be kidding. I'm love to fuck. Hold up, pop my cap in his ass and bust a nut in yours. I got 1,500 bitches all standing in line. Waiting for the fucking bitches fucking ride the pine. We got big dicks. Who's got big dicks? We got big dicks.
Who's got big dicks?
We got big dicks. Who's got big dicks? We got big dicks.
Who's got big dicks?
And it goes like.
I wear 3 leggings, a big one in the middle. I'm like a sideshow freak because these legs look so little. If you wanna fuck me, you gotta climb a step ladder. Then you slide down my pole and your pelvis gets shattered. Not only packing legs, but I'm also packing guns. Bitch, when I fuck you, it's like reverse first. That's enough about your shit. Let's talk about mine. How homosexual bitches wanna ride this pile. We got big dicks.
Who's got big dicks? We got big dicks. Who's got big dicks? We got big dicks. Who's got big dicks? We got big dicks.
Who's got big dicks? And it goes like
Dicks.
All right.
I would love to do it.
Let's do it.
I gotta move over a little bit. This thing, I can feel the breeze every time Kevin hit this cymbal on my elbow.
All right.
Now, this song is about the original Ghostbusters, not the one with the girls.
Misogynist.
So it does have girls in it.
Oh, there are girls in it.
Oh, yeah.
We also actually, this one we have a reprisal. We're gonna play the original, But on the new album, there's another version of this song it's got a different chorus, way different music, similar. We played this song about 15 different ways over the years. Now we're gonna have an acoustic version. It's fun.
All right.
All right.
1, 2, 3 on the first 3 numbers. Read my dick, it's a real up and comer. Watch out! I'm turning around and off Viagra, and when I'm coming hot, girl, I'm coming like Niagara Falls. At my balls, I would like to see my factory. Lean satisfactory, the famous porno actor. Street for meters, hit the street for meters. Going to the kitchen, getting electric egg beaters. Children shit's like Eddie Crazy, and my penis starts to spasm. Getting all covered in the sticky ectoplasm. Even though the face of a very racist host, you're then a bust a white ghost.
You better stay calm, ladies. You're gonna have to trust us. We know what we're doing, cause we're the Ghostbusters. We got the right equipment. Don't worry, it's just us, and we know what we're doing, cause we're the Ghostbusters. We're the Ghostbusters. We're the Ghostbusters. We're the Ghostbusters. Yo, you get sloppy seconds, you lunches a mess of lubricant. I said, fuck you, you can't. I'm gonna fuck it first, maybe you can fuck a raptor. But when you do, you're gonna need a man to horse adapter. Put a rap, yeah, I'm throwing my dick down. I'm a river when you're trying to make my dick round. I'm Rick Moranis and yo, Sigourney Weaver, and I'm about to get busy with another woman breather. You're the gatekeeper and I'm the keymaster. Some of the white demon and now I'm about to blast her. We're leaning on her face and I got it real close. Yo, then I bust a white ghost. Act your one, motherfucker! You look like you're about to see a ghost! Big fucking slime.
Get my metaphor, I'm coming on. Faces getting sexy with the bitches in all they sexy places. She used to have a boyfriend, but she hardly kissed him. Measuring his penis, gotta use the metric system. Give me a wink.
You'll then a bust a white ghost.
You better stay calm, ladies. You're gonna have to trust us. We know what we're doing, cause we're the Ghostbusters. We got the right equipment. You sleep back, it's just us. We know what we're doing, we're the Ghostbusters. 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 Don't cross the street, nigga.
Dicks.
Awesome. That's dynamite.